Let's hear if anyone shows up. But I'm going to pop over and take a look at the page and just see if it is even showing. Oh, looks like it is coming up. Guess it did start, and I can keep going here for a hot second, at least until no one shows up. But until then, I am just drinking, again, Daft Brewing Shrinkage IPA. I have my headphones plugged in and I'm not listening to them. That's super interesting at this moment. But yeah, might as well just kind of wait around. In case you're wondering, update since last time. I don't really know what I said last time, so I'll just update you on what's going on right now. Hey, Slow Rover, how's it going? I see someone stop in there, just basically giving a quick update. We got the brewery going in full swing. I just left home for a little bit, so got a bunch in the fermenters. I think before I left, I put on some new amber, and that's going to be going off to Mexicali Roses, hopefully, when I get back. Just got to get it carbonated and going there. And also in the fermenter, I believe I have some sort of call it extra special bitter. I think I put one of them in before, which should be ready to be carbonated. I got a stout that's carbonated, ready to be kegged or bottled. How about canned? I'll go with canned. Haven't really done that one too much lately. Stouts have been basically selling in kegs, so I've been going with that, but I think I'll try to get some in there. My stout's called the Day Thinker Stout, just an oatmeal stout. Tried to be pretty smooth. Not a crazy amount of coffee. If you've watched the channel before, the recipe's pretty much the same there, only I'm not using the added coffee in it. I didn't find you really need it, or basically for the effort and what it added, I find you just didn't really need it. So just going with the right grain bill, get you a nice roasty coffee kind of flavor, and that should be good. I see we got four people in there now for some reason. Say hi in the chat. It's only fun if we talk in the chat. But yeah, Slow Rover. I guess you still kicking around in Ottawa. I think Ottawa there. I should be in Ottawa on next Tuesday, maybe next Tuesday afternoon. I think that's when I'm going to be over there. Like I mentioned, I'm just in Kingston right now. Hey, what's going on, Bruce Straba? Good to see you. It's nice and early tonight. Rebrew the ESB brewed last week, and then it hooked the blow-off tube to the liquid. Stupid like error. Maybe if I give myself a heart on the stream, it'll disappear. But no, gotta wait till they move past that in there. Let's see, blow-off tube to the liquid. Yeah, you imagine how that worked out. Yeah, that'd make a little bit of a mess. Hopefully you didn't lose the whole batch, but maybe you did. I don't know. Yeah, like I was saying, just kind of talking about what's going on at the brewery right now. And yeah, I got a few beers in the fermenters. I got a IPA that I'm just basically waiting. It's probably already at terminal fermentation there now, or terminal gravity. So when I get back, I'm going to try to throw a big load of hops in there and see what we got. And it's going to be pretty much just a standard, it's my Mount Maniac IPA is the name of it. And I'm just going to be giving it a lot more hops than I normally give. So I'm just curious to see how much it's going to add in the flavor. In case you're wondering, no, my beer is not that consistent yet. I'm working on the recipes. The cold IPA, I think I pretty much have down, but and maybe the blonde. But for the rest of the recipes, I'm pretty much going to be, I think, tweaking little bits here and there until I get a bunch of beer I like. I like it all right now, but I can always do better. So lost 4 gallons. Found it before his wife. Yeah, that's not good to have 4 gallons on the floor. But as long as you found it, got it dealt with, and hopefully you had a good floor so it didn't just soak in there. But maybe it'll get some beery good smell idness sometime for there. But yeah, this is beer and drinking shrinkage IPA. What are you guys drinking? What do you got in the fermenters? And what can you say in the chat to just keep this going and try to keep me not yapping like a maniac? So yeah, what else is going on? We got some beers. I think. Oh yeah, I got a hell of a. One of them is called the Hell of a Party. That's my. Well, actually, it's almost. If you look at the videos, it's almost. It's not quite, but it's pretty close to the Blue Moon clone or Shock Top type clone that I did a little while back. So if you like those types of beers, check them out. I recently just the failure tip, not really failure, just I never seem to I didn't really work hard on trying to get them to keep the haze, but they always turned out dropping out clear. So I've renamed that one from a Belgian wheat or Belgian white to just just the Hell of a Party wheat beer, because then I don't feel bad if it doesn't necessarily, if it drops clear. It's kind of a American wheat, so we can go for that one. What other kind of beers we got on the go? Yeah, I think that's somewhere around it. Like I said, I still got in for sale if you're in the Nova Scotia area. We got lots of cold IPAs. I got a ton of the blondes, and yeah, a bunch of other ones. I checked the website partytimebrewing.com for, well, first off, a kind of horribly put together website to sell you stuff, but it does have a few things on there, and we do have some. Well, we do kind of have a lot of merch. It's just I haven't really figured out the whole shipping thing much yet, so I gotta get on that. And what else do we have? Of course, I got to check my cell phone on there. Yeah, what else is going on? I've been around the last couple days, or actually last week, just over a week now. I've been hanging around in Kingston here. Right now, I have horrible internet, and it seems to be skipping on my side. But as long as you can hear it on your side, and I think the upload speed's good here, just not the download speed, because everyone in this building is probably watching Netflix right now. So yeah, but back to it. Holy snikes! Yeah, what's going on, Patrick Sandy? Good to see you or hear you or watch your text letter things go down the box there. Prost, hey, what's going on, Samit? Sorry, I need glasses and I don't wear them as much as I should. Yeah, Aristopian fermented, 40 liters, nice. That's a good size batch. It should last a bit. Kolsch and Bopils in kegs and drinking Hellas at the moment. Nice, 2 a.m. here though. Yeah, it's still pretty early here. We got sitting around about 8:20 or so, and yeah, again, I just wanted to have a couple beers and figured I'd log into this, see how I can get the portable system set up so that when I'm away from home, it's a much better chance to stream because there's not kids screaming around. Don't have anything here to do. You can see nice white walls. I have to be careful not to scratch them because there's asbestos warnings on them. So apparently they're super healthy. And yeah, Patrick Sandy writing up some recipes. Nice. And yeah, just trying out the beers. And like I said before, I got rambling off. I did just been in here at Kingston checking out all the breweries around town. I think so far, from what I found, and I haven't been there too many times, but this place here, Daft Brewing, seems to be one of the better hangouts in Kingston. They got a nice clean setup there, and they put a ton of great beers out. I don't think I had anyone's there I haven't liked, and plan on trying out some of their. I think next time I go there, I'll try some of their sours. I'm hoping to get out there a few more times. But if you're looking for, and they were kind of all around good beer there. If you're looking for really good hazy beers, it's a little bit slightly on the more expensive at the taproom side, but Fine Balance Brewing, just up the street from where I'm at, seems like they do a really solid hazy IPA. Probably some of the best that I've had, at least Canadian ones. They probably compete with, I don't know if you can see it, but Unfiltered Brewing in Halifax. They seem to be the kings of the hazy IPAs out in Halifax. And yeah, that's so far what we've got there. And there was a bunch of other good breweries. On Saturday, I went for a walk went to a buddy's house and then started out at Riverhead Brewing, which is on kind of far other side of town. Then I think it was a 40-minute walk to the next brewery. I checked that out. That was like Skeleton Park Brewing, I believe. And they had some pretty solid beers there, a couple good pilsners. And their Bohemian Pils was really good. And their sample glasses or the flight size glasses are probably 6 or 8 ounces, so they're pretty generous on there. And yeah, the prices out here in Ontario seem to be pretty good for beer, so it's not too bad to go cruising around and trying some beers. But then after that, I went to Spearhead Brewing. I think that was another 20. Actually, it was only about 10 minutes from Skeleton Park, and that was pretty good. And then I went for the long haul back to Daft Brewing. That was about an hour and 20-minute walk out from Spearhead. So it's not the most perfect scenario for walking from brewery to brewery, but they do have transit, and I figure sometimes it takes almost as long to walk as it does transit. And if you're hammering down a bunch of beer, it's always good to get as many steps in as you can to help burn that off. But yeah, that's me yapping. Anybody got any brewing questions? Anyone want to talk about what's going on in the breweries or anything along those sort of things. So just listening to some, I think it was just a quick 25-minute podcast. I forget if it was Master Brewers or something like that, and they were just talking about dissolved oxygen on the canning line. All sounds pretty interesting. They give a few tips and stuff, but most of those tips are kind of like $8,000 or $10,000 tips. You got to buy a big piece of kit for almost every little stage of the process. Oh, and you also have to already have a $100,000 canning line. So a lot of it doesn't quite line up to the Super Nano or Pico brewery like probably am considered. I don't know what sizes go kind of with which or not, but yeah, we got nine people here. Anyone that's new to the channel, thanks for stopping in. I've put out almost no content in the last year. I think my last video was almost 3 months ago, and it was just a quick what was it? Carbonation with the spike carbonated stone. It works, not as well as I'd like it, but it's decent and one of the only like good options if you kind of want to, I don't know, have a carb stone in the spike, or you just buy the SS Brewtech one, except then you're losing a port because it doesn't. Spike only has, I believe, the two ports on their fermenter, and that's something I should do because I do have a Spike fermenter at I guess only half barrel size. I got a couple of the Grainfather SF70 fermenters and 1 barrel SS Brewtech, as well as a couple 1 barrel Spidels. So I do have a decent little. Hey, what's going on, Perry? You still in Kingston, or did you head back to wherever kind of magical place you went to? But yeah, I got a bunch of different fermenters, so let me know if anyone would be interested in seeing the comparison. I mean, I guess anyone's, then if you don't want to see it, you just don't watch it, but it's good for kind of anyone. But if you're looking to see a bunch of different styles of the fermenters, they all work pretty good. Spidels, they're great, but the only thing I don't like is they're a little harder to do the if you're really wanting to do a proper on them, you don't really want to leave all the trub in there, and you have to get it. You have to kind of make sure your timing's good there, because then you want to get it off the hops, not as quick as possible, but pretty close. Oh, it seems I'm buffering over here. So let's see. Okay, how in depth is the process to get your commercial license in Nova Scotia? Well, I will start telling you about it in 1 second as soon as I have a sip, and then I'll probably wander off before I finish telling you about it. But well, I'll give it a shot. Cheers, everyone. I'm not leaving, just having a sip. Yeah, that's the cold IPA. I should have kept it a little colder. I should have filled up my buckets. It's just full of water right now from the last time I filled it up with ice. I just haven't gone down and got it. I really should have thought of that before I started this. But yeah, we'll go. Patrick's saying the in-depth process to get your brewery going in Nova Scotia. So let's sit back and I'll tell you about it. So yeah, basically when I kind of decided I wanted to start a brewery almost as soon as I started streaming. And that was right around, or not streaming, I guess putting out YouTube videos. That was right around, I don't know, 2021 in April. So like we're coming up on the 3rd year of being on YouTube. Last year I think I ended up doing about 9 videos or so, but it ended up, see, I've already strayed off. But yeah, I ended up doing about 8 or 9 videos last year, but back to it. So starting that, I started doing YouTube, and then basically almost right away, I kind of knew I wanted to start something small out of the garage if that was possible. So I started looking into it, just went on Google Docs, started making some sort of a business plan, and pretty much just Googled it up, what you had to do in Nova Scotia to start a brewery. Luckily, there's a pretty good, I don't know if it's good for any place other, but if you want to search up like how to start a brewery in Nova Scotia, it comes up with a pretty good pamphlet that, while the licensing things may be a little different in other places, it does give you a good list of things to think about. So yeah, just did the research, basically went through what the Nova Scotia Liquor Commission, who governs beer in Nova Scotia, talks about, and yeah, just basically each item that they asked for on the list, I kind of put a header on the header on the business plan, and then kind of filled out how I was going to do each little rough business very slowly. Like I probably would have never bought a canner if I didn't have the brewing idea in the background, and yeah, basically went from there. Just a quick side thing. Anyone let me know if I'm jumping or skipping all over the place. I have a slow internet connection here, and no sense talking if I'm getting getting all weird there. But yeah, so business plan. Bought a few things that I wouldn't have bought otherwise. Like I ended up getting I started with buying the spike fermenter, the spike unit tank, which I'm pretty happy with. I kind of don't like the lid on the top. I like the SS Brew textile one where it's just like a 6 or 8 inch tri clamp on the top, so it seals a lot nicer. But yeah, so bought some kit that was a little overkill, especially for home brewery. By the end of it, on YouTube, like you've seen, I did the review on somewhere back a year and a half ago or something. Did a review on the Grainfather G70. So that was the main plan. I planned on starting a half barrel brewery, and yeah, basically just got in contact in the early stages with the Liquor Commission and talking about like federal excise tax and stuff like that with the federal government, and it all went kind of slow for a bit, and then nice. Hey, how's it going, Beer Qua? But yeah, it all just started going. It was pretty slow for probably another year, and then last January I kind of kicked it back into action, doing some work. I called back the Liquor Commission. One of the first things I had read all their, I don't know, manuals and stuff, and didn't see anything that wouldn't allow me to do a brewery in a residential area. In case anyone's wondering, yeah, I'm in a residential area, so as of now I don't have a retail license, so I can't actually sell out of my house, but I am allowed to deliver, and I'm allowed to brew beer and sell it to manufacturers. Hopefully working on soon getting my, what do you call it? Just basically off-site sales license, so I could maybe hit up a market, looking for words. But yeah, so just looked all that up. Nothing said I couldn't do it in a residential area. Called them up, and then one of the first things they said was kind of like, "Oh, we're not sure if you can still do that. I'm going to look into it." So then it was at that point where I knew they didn't have regulations that said I couldn't do it. So I went and just kind of rolled the dice and paid I think it was like have to pay a couple $100 a year for your excise license, and you gotta get insurance and all that. So I went ahead and kind of jumped the gun and got a bunch of everything lined up so that when I sent my package to them, I had everything, all my ducks in a row, and I didn't wait for them to say no. I just made sure I had everything done. I had my excise license so that the Liquor Commission couldn't, well, hopefully not say no. I mean, they can always say no, I think, if they want to. But yeah, that was the process there. It's not considered the same as food like production or manufacturing in Nova Scotia, or I don't think it is anywhere around, which may change down the road when they realize all these NA beers are kind of closer to a soda or a fruit juice than they're a beer. But yeah, we don't have to follow all those regulations. It's a little bit more relaxed, but you still have to get things done properly. Like I got a commercial sink installed, and I bought the fancy spray faucet, which makes a huge difference, makes cleaning a heck of a lot easier. And then just made sure I had like a stainless table and some other stuff kicking around. But other than really just buying a few half barrel fermenters and the Grainfather G50 for the main brewing system and a G30, I didn't really do too much else. So it would have been at that point, it wouldn't have been too bad to just start with all that gear. But just before I opened, I saw on like a marketplace, saw a few 1 barrel fermenter, like 1 barrel Spidels, and to me, or to anything really, as long as you're brewing with get a bidet. Yeah, of course, beer, but yeah, like it's with a Spidel. I figured you can. I had a walk-in. Oh yeah, I guess before I got the license, I also made the walk-in fridge. So I built an 8x8 walk-in fridge in my garage, just based off a Coolbot little thing that kind of tricks a regular air conditioner into giving yourself a walk-in freezer. So that's probably one of the videos that I'd like to do soon. I wouldn't do probably a video on how to make it completely, but I'd give you a little bit of a video, maybe like a 5 minutes on, hey, here's what I did, or here's what I should have done, or like the big thing is really just like what could I do better based on the instructions they got there, because the Coolbot website they got really good videos and really good a really good manual on how to do it yourself. So it's not really something I could probably improve on, other than just giving a few tips for brewing. But it hasn't come in pretty handy, because I built it so I can basically roll my fermenters in. So instead of using the glycol chiller, I can just kind of roll it in when it's time to crash. All you have to really make sure is that for the most part, that the garage is at a decent temperature, which I try to keep it somewhere around 18. And then if I'm doing I've even done lagers in the Spidels without any real temperature control ish. I mean, I'm still using that fridge when at the end stage for cold crash, but I just been using some Nova Lager yeast. Not sure how much longer I'm going to be using Nova Lager. I just bought another brick of it, but it's real expensive. I don't know what it is other places, but it's somewhere in the, I think it was somewhere in the $260 or $280 range for 500 grams, which you can do your math, and that's about $2 a gram. So even I could be totally wrong on that. How about 50 cents a gram? That makes more sense. So say it's around 50 cents a gram. So I mean, it's still cheaper than buying the single pitches at the homebrew shop. Although they did have the Nova Lager the first time they brought it into our homebrew shop. I'm not sure Brew HQ. I'm not sure if it'll stay the same, but it was only like $6.99 or something. I don't know if that was a price mess up, but it was pretty cheap, which is not much cheaper than you can buy it when you buy 500 grams. Okay, where'd I get off to wandering here now? Okay, so we will go. Yeah, built a walk-in fridge, got all my ducks in a row, got all the paperwork kind of filled out. When you talk to the excise license people and you talk to the liquor commission, they have they'll send you a big list of kind of stuff that you need to do to get it done, and most of them are necessary. I talked to environmental people, and they didn't laugh at me or anything, but it was kind of more or less like if I'm not using 50,000 liters of water a day, they don't even need to do a assessment or something like that. But I make sure I try to put all my wastewater in I get rid of the spent grains, and then the half of the most of the wastewater can go down the sink because it's all septic friendly. I just make sure I don't put as much of the sweet wort or trub type stuff down the sink, because I've heard that can kind of clog up there. I just got a question, Giant Beat. I don't reuse the yeast as much as I should. I've only ever gone, I think, 3 generations so far on the yeast, and I just don't have. I'd like to have some sort of something to test it to see how it's good. Although I just listened to I forget which, it might have been the Craft Beer and Brewing podcast, and that guy on that channel was saying he was using London Ale or one of those white lab yeasts or something, and he said he went 72 generations on it, and he said it could sensory test couldn't even tell the difference between it and a fresh batch of yeast. But no, I don't reuse the yeast as much as I should. Half of the reasons because I got the big Spidels, so I'll sometimes do maybe if I do a lager first batch, I'll drop a blonde on for the second batch, but for the most part, I haven't been properly reusing yeast. I don't really know much about the pitch counts, and I know I've put some with a ton more and some a lot less. But yeah, Giant Pete, that's a ton of generations. I forget what podcast it was or whatever. It's something about the hazy, a place that makes hazy IPAs. I should have that down a little better, but yeah. So that's how I do the Spidels with that, and then yeah, just make sure really what you want is a business plan. I wasn't going for any money anywhere because it was kind of stuff I've slowly acquired over the time. So I didn't have a business plan that I needed to send anyone, but it was also just good to have to kind of give yourself an idea of okay, this is what I'm going to produce, this is what I'm going to do. And they asked for a business plan at the kind of the regulator people, but I don't know how thorough it actually had to be, or if they actually really look at it too much. I think mine ended up being about maybe 30 or 40 pages, but that's with all the legal documents and stuff as attachments. So it's not really that. Perry, yeah, I haven't done a ton of pressure brewing. I have a couple batches. I try to once it gets down to not quite terminal, but a few points below, I'll shut off the blow off tube, and then it will ferment, or will continue to go a little bit and get some pressure. I got to play with that again just to look at what the sweet spots are, the sweet numbers are to get it up. It'd be nice if I could close it off, and then by the end of fermentation it's up to 15 psi. Last time I did it, it did make it to 15 psi, but I'm guessing that it might have gone farther because I think the blow off on the SS Brewtech 1 barrel fermenters was, I'm pretty sure it was leaking out of that at the end of it. So I probably shut it a little too early, but at least those work, and I didn't get a big explosion. I think if you look at the blow offs on the Brewtechs, they seem like they're pretty robust. The little valve thing's probably, I don't know, 3 inches. No, that's okay, maybe half an inch. And yeah, they seem to work pretty good. I've gone a while without with forgetting about them, or forgetting to, even like the first day, forgetting to open up the blow off tube, and yeah, it you don't want to do that too long. But no, I haven't actually tried too much with the pressure fermenting. Really, the unit tanks so far I've just found really good for the, obviously, fermenting and collecting the yeast and stuff like that. But I haven't been doing it too much. So I got that's where are we at? Yeah, that's kind of the start of the brewery type things. I filled out the paperwork, and then there was no issues once that. It just took a month or so for everything to go through, and then I got my license, and then started once they said I'd be good to go, then I started to kind of brewing like crazy. Overall, I did end up buying, just as I opened, I bought. There was another brewery that sold me some. I got another glycol chiller and 2 SS Brewtech 1 barrels. So those are pretty nice. So when I started, I had about 5 barrels of capacity. So I had to do 10 brews, kind of 10 brews right in a row to get that done. So I just basically did double brews for 5 days. Might have missed a day or two and did split it up. But yeah, I still don't have a good schedule going. I tend to get everything brewed, then do all the kind of carbonating and stuff, and then packaging, and then back to brewing again. So I've had a few times where it's been brewing straight every day for 10 days, once a day for 10 days, and 2 or 3 of those are double days, because I have about 7 barrels for that. Let's see, a chamber for that many fermenters in the work. So I got 4. I have 4 fermenters, beer that I can use the glycol chillers on. I got the 2 1-barrel Brewtechs, and then I have the spike system. The half barrel there, and then another half barrel SF70, the Grainfather one. I have chilling in all those, so I can do a good amount there. Let's see. Summit, what brew are you planning to brew first commercially? I think the first brew that I did commercially was, I've been open since around April. I think I had my first beers out in May, and the first beer I did was just an easy drinker. It was the Hell of a Party, which was kind of the Belgian whitish or the Blue Moonish kind of flavor. But then the first beer I've been happy with so far, or well, not first I've been happy, but my cold IPA I think is so far to be one of the ones that's the closest to what I'm going to probably try to keep putting out consistent. And they did a Pilsner pretty quick in there, and just a lager and a light lager. That light lager is that's just like a trick, because I can brew just a little bit higher gravity, and I can get 1 barrel out of the Grainfather, so that's pretty sweet there, and that sticks around that sits around 4%, so that's pretty good. Oh yeah, no worries about missing that. But Summit there, am I saying that? Okay, yeah, I think I'm reading it right. But yeah, Beerquat, it's all coils right now, which would be nice to get the jacketing, because coils are kind of annoying to clean. Basically, for cleaning the coils, at least the in the half barrel, some of the half barrels I have just the what's it called, the Kegland temp coils or something. And if you want a quick hack and easy way to set up a cleaner for those, if you don't have some sort of a sip thing, or don't want to load 20 liters or whatever 5 gallons in your fermenter to soak them, is you can take just a 4-inch pipe, buy a cap for it, and cut it off, and then you can just throw some PBW in there, and it seems to soak it off pretty quick, and you only end up using maybe 2 liters of sanitizer, or not sanitizer, but PBW instead of doing a 20 thing. But yeah, coils work good though. You just got to make sure you have the glycol going in the right direction on them. I'd have to double check, but I think the intake, the one that goes, you want it basically chilling from the. Oh, that's I'd have to double check that. I'm thinking you have to go in one way down to 2 degrees, and then when you want it to go any colder, you got to try to put it on the other way. So I'm thinking if it would make sense, it would be you want the cooling to start kind of at the top of the coil and go down, so that the chills at the top, and then the cold wort sinks to the bottom, and then it'd bring the warm stuff up and cool that. But yeah, I could have that backwards. But if you didn't know there's a direction you're supposed to do it, then look that up and you'll find the right there. Yeah, cold groundwater year round. No need for glycol. Yeah, beer qual. Mine wouldn't be too bad. I definitely could keep it. Maybe not a cold crash or packaging temperatures, but mine stays basically 4 degrees. I have well water, so we got a 400-foot well, so it's coming from pretty good in the water, and I can get about 4 degrees water, which I'm not sure what that equals, like maybe 38 Fahrenheit or something like that. But oh yeah, no problem, Submit. Keep mumbling name because I'm not fully sure how to say it there, right? But yeah, let's see. I've already talked about kind of most of the setup, doing double brews for most things. Another video I might throw out soon. And I think I mentioned I was on the Hoppy Hour last week. If you want some actual like conversation with someone and not just stare at me talk, but I was on the Hoppy Hour last week, so check that out if you left that up. I don't see why I'd take it down, so that should be kicking around there. And if you haven't checked out the Hoppy Hour, make sure you get over to that to subscribe to that channel, because that's another good beer channel, and he's starting to. It's a homebrew. It's SEH from Homebrew for Life, and he's starting to get a lot more. Trying to get a lot more content out this year, so it's always good to see. I forget who he said he has on this week, but I think it's someone good again. It's always someone good. Anyone that talks beer is pretty good. 39.2 Fahrenheit for. Crap, I forget what 4 degrees. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. I was gonna say, I thought 40 sounded too high, but I guess it wasn't. Yeah, so more process stuff. I don't know. What's if you want to get excited in the chat there? What sort of things are what sort of purchases have you made that either good purchases or bad purchases for brewing? I mentioned the other day one of the bad purchases. That's a carboy cleaner. I don't use carboys anymore, so that was a dumb purchase, and that's sitting there in the package. And good one of the things I like, one of the best, and it wasn't expensive, but it's like a $20 thing that you might not need is just a Rubbermaid scoop for scooping out the scooping out the grain once I'm done with a bigger system. 30-liter one, you don't necessarily need something like that because you can just dump it, but I've used this one a lot, and yeah, I know beer qual. What you got on? What's your brewing projects lately? I know, and you've had some good ones there, I think. Got any new fancy toys? Let's see. Yeah, you'll have to check it out, Beer Qual. There's it's one of the best channels on YouTube, and I'm basically Mr. Beast. I think I just hit my 2.4, or no, we'll say how do I say it? 0.0024 million subscribers. So that's pretty good. I can't really drink. It's hard to keep yapping. Okay, so what else we got? Anybody else popping in? We got 16 watching me drink a beer right now, so that's kind of good, I guess. What's everybody's favorite beer town? Anybody have a favorite place to go? Like your Portland's good. I guess San Diego's good, or anywhere. I say there's all these good places or bad places to go, but I think the key is to just go to a place that has a lot of breweries. So if you're wondering, Halifax is a great place. It probably would be one of the better brewery cities, obviously on the east coast of Canada, because it's one of the only brewery cities on the east coast of Canada. But like, you get a hotel downtown and you can probably hit up 5 or 6 or more breweries in like not even a long walk, a pretty short walk. Kingston, not so much. You're looking at 4 or 5 what do you call it? 4 or 5 kilometer walk, or say a 3-mile walk around. Michigan, yeah, I'd love to get out there and try some of them Michigan beers. Let's see, Columbus, great Germantown section, great beer gardens, nice. Yeah, that'd be great to get out. Really, to get out anywhere and just try. I like traveling around and trying beers. Should do some. I keep saying I should do a video on it. I don't know who wants to see me do videos, but you're some people are here now, but yeah, lots of good cities. What other towns close by are decent? Fredericton's just New Brunswick. They got a bunch of great places. Grimross, Picaroons. I know there's way more than I just way more than 2. But I don't know how they're not super walkable to many. But yeah. Oh, some Berlin actually. And I said, yeah, I'd love to get out to out somewhere that way. One of my buddies hopefully will be posted over to Belgium, and then that might give me a reason to creep over there sometime soon. Let's see, 5 gallon. Yeah, Beerquell, how's that? Are you still brewing on the spike system that you geared up for? Yeah, do a time lapse of growing a mustache. That'd be a good one. I don't know if I have enough home pictures that you could just paste them together or not, but I've only done the reverse mustache, the mustache removal. Ottawa has a lot of breweries, but not really walkable. Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, I guess you got down. I've spent a lot of time researching this because I never actually made it to the downtown area. It was great for Ottawa was good for driving, but I found I could only stop and try like 1 or 2 samples, and then I had to go because it kind of gets messy if you're driving. So you shouldn't drive. Don't drink and drive. That's dumb. But yeah, like over in Canada area, I guess they had like Big Rig Brewing. There was one that was right next to it that I really liked, and it had the cleanest brewery setup I think I've ever seen, and they had great wood-fired pizzas. But I should have my map in front of me and look at it. But yeah, they were good. They had like Revolution Brewing or something like that, and Cold Bear Brewing up in Arnprior. I like that one. Met them at the Brewing Awards last year or something. They're good people, and they make great beer, so that's a good one. And there's another one, Clishisippi, kind of hard to pronounce and spell, but they had a really nice big tap list. But I haven't made it too much to the downtown Ottawa breweries. I think it's like what did I do? Well, when I stopped at the airport to come out here. I went to one called Vimy and then Bicycle Brewing Co. And those were pretty good. They were really walkable, but they're out by the train station, kind of the weird shopping district or something. Let's see. Not many small breweries there, but have good ones like Forest Wike, Vike. Yeah, I'm not even. I shouldn't even attempt to speak or talk a German word. But here's the. I'm not quite done this one yet, but I'll sneak out over here and give you a hint of what's next. I'm assuming it's. I don't know what it tastes like, but I did at the liquor store. I did find the Letterkenny beer, the Pupper's Golden Lager, the official beer of Letterkenny. I don't know if I've heard that it's the best in the world, but why judge? If it's a lager, it's probably clean and tasty. And I think they make a lot of it. So, yeah, you don't say you go for beer, you say you go for Puppers, because that's what Letterkenny does. And I think they're on their last season this year. Let's see. Hard to pronounce, but Google it. It's a really good brand of brewery. Okay, nice. Yeah, that'd be good to check out. Yeah, my internet right now is pretty ridiculously so. I think it's sitting at download speeds of like I don't know, like 50 kilobytes a second. But luckily, the upload speeds are because there's not people streaming from here. They're just all watching, I guess, Netflix, playing video games. Nobody's drinking Shrinkage, cold IPA. It's a great name. This brewery had a bunch of good. They had all their beers are like pop culture references. Like they had obviously Shrinkage, like Seinfeld George, and the other one I had earlier I think was called Cool. It was a dry hop pilsner or something. And to be fair, yeah, beer qual. That's definitely a quote from that. For some reason, a little couple years ago, we built a veggie stand just from Letterkenny. So I'd like to bring that. I'd like to try to figure out how to get that into the beer fest. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to doing my first beer fest on April 6th. So probably everyone should come down to Halifax and come to see the Together We Brew beer fest. So I'm doing that one. Don't know yet what I'll do. I know I still have to get a damn jockey box. So I got to make up a jockey box so I can actually serve the beer, or I'll just go lazy and expensive and just bring 100 cans or whatever and dish them out, which wouldn't be too bad because it gives you a little bit more. You can do a little more variety, and maybe you could bring some to sell too. But yeah, to be fair, IPA. That's probably already a beer, but that'd be a great name for this for Daft. But yeah, it's pretty local. It seems like this place. I'm not sure where Letterkenny is filmed. Don't know if it says here. You just watch me. Brewed by Collaboration Brew Co. That's seems like a joke. Literature, use license, whatever. Collaboration Brews Co. Toronto, London, Delta, Creston, Edmonton, Montreal, Halifax, St. John's. There. That's interesting. I thought they had a brewery that actually did a specific one that actually did their beer. Didn't know it was Collaboration Brew Co. Great name. Beer Co. Or we don't brew it, Beer Co. But yeah, have a draft too. Just drop a keg in a garbage can full of ice. Now, you know what? That actually probably wouldn't be as fancy, but it might work. Or if you got one of them tin ones, you could just make a real sketchy looking gig. Yeah, I got to figure that's something I do have to design out, figure out what I want to do, because I don't like going to hey, what's going on, Blackwood Brews? Good to have you in there. We got 19 people, and it's pretty. I guess it's starting to get closer to 9 o'clock, so it's not super early, but we've been going on this for, wow, surprisingly 41 minutes already, and I'm still on my first beer. So, hey, Blackwood Brew, BB, Blackberry. Great Canadian company. I think they were Canadian, but they blew it. Yeah, I think I just totally got distracted from where I was at and what I was talking about. So I guess I'll just throw a beer in my mouth and see what we got. You gotta see the plans. Make sure I know where people are going in the morning, so I don't get left here. Oh, talking about the non-brekkie crew and the brekkie crew. That's exciting. In case you're wondering, that kind of terminology, it's the people that like to sleep in for an extra half an hour so they skip breakfast. I'm in that boat, but I go for a walk. And also, I have fancy food here. I got some bread. I got fancy cutlery. Strawberry jam that I'm assuming isn't going to go rotten, that I put a label of cool dry hopped Pilsner on. And Selection brand smooth peanut butter. So you know it's always a good time here. I've skipped a few suppers, and that's my supper. I still got looks like still got a solid 4 sandwiches left with a bonus 5th if you eat the heels. Who eats the heels? Breakfast, oatmeal stout. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. I think they frown upon drinking before work. Hard to say. But I mean, I guess if you're just learning something or doing formulas all day, is it work really, or is it just pure pleasure? Don't know, but I'm not going to test that. So I'll have to stick with these for now. But I'm almost done this one, so I'm looking forward to trying out the old puppers. And I might not get to it, but I'll sneak out of the way and take a look over here. The other one I bought out here because I thought the name was interesting, because it's a name of a beer that I wanted to do, because I don't know if I may have mentioned it before, but where I'm from, Mount Uniacke, there's a place called the Uniacke House, and the guy who owned the house was like, I don't know, some sort of municipal, or not municipal, like a provincial politician or something, and he had what seems to be like some sort of spoiled son, but his spoiled son was part of the last like duel in Nova Scotia. So, but apparently the last duel in Canada was up somewhere by here, and these guys have their last duel beer. So when I was thinking about naming it that, I found these guys here. So I did not name it the last duel, because I try to, as much as I can, do a little bit of research before I name a beer. A lot of good names. Almost anything you can come up with. Anything you can come up with comes with, or has already been taken. So it's pretty tricky. Perry, I have not tried the Cream or Cream Ale yet. That's like I mentioned today, I plan on hopefully in the next couple days getting down to I forget, McKinley Brothers or McKinley Farms or something like that, and trying that. Yeah, the last duel's from Perth. I didn't realize it was actually. I'm glad I didn't name it that because I didn't realize it was even like a bigger last duel park there. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that fits a lot more with them. It fits a little bit. I'd have to be like maybe the last duel in Nova Scotia. I could put it in small, real small lettering underneath, and then me and Perth, or Perth Brewery can fight it out for. Not really. Yep, on terrible. That's where I'm at, but it's not terrible. It's a great place. Has amazing breweries, and I'm pretty actually stoked to go back to looking forward to going back to Daft Brewing and Fine Balance Brewing, and even Kingston Brewing Company downtown. They have a pretty small selection of beers they brew. Like they brew in a pretty, like I think you said, a 1 barrel or a 2 barrel system. They do some collab brewing out at Riverhead on the other side of town, but in my mumbling, they have some good beers, and they have a really nice tap list there. So they had a keg or a tap takeover. No, I don't remember the name of the tap takeover, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, no, that's a bad story if I don't have the punchline or the whatever. Bob and Doug McKenzie, know him, eh? Yeah, great. They can drink their way out of a fermenter, I think. Strange Brew. I haven't actually watched Strange Brew in years. I should watch that. Just do a live stream and throw it up there and just get my channel taken down. But it'd be worth it because we'd get to watch a movie. Let's see what else. Any more great? Yeah. So Creamore Cream Ale. That's the one I'll try when I get up there. I don't think anyone else here will be willing to drive the half an hour down there. So I'll steal one of the rental cars and go and pick up a few beer there. I had a quick look tonight, but I didn't see any at the Lickbo. They probably have a few, but I'll try that McKinley brother something, maybe something different. Interested. I'm from Perth, Western Australia. I had no idea Canada also has a place called Perth. Yeah, because they did not check Untapped before they named it, and Australia already had one, and now Canada looks like assholes. That's pretty sure how that works. It's just like beer. But yeah, nice. Yeah, I'd love to get out to. Don't know if I'd do Western Australia. It'd be cool to get out there, but I've heard there's not as much going on as the eastern side. Plus, if I ever plan on doing if I ever plan on summiting one of the 7 summits, I think the Australian one's the only one would be able to pull off because I'm pretty sure you can like drive to the top of it or something. Sun never sets on the British Empire. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have one of my last sips maybe of this. We've got 17 watching now. We've been going for an hour. That's pretty good, I guess. Don't know. We got oh look, we got one like. I did that in case you're wondering. Made myself look popular. And yeah, what else can we talk about? Let's see. Got some beer brewing. What kind of beer should I brew next? Somebody come up with a type of beer and a name of the beer, and then I'll just and throw up a recipe too if you want to. But yeah, find a good name of a beer and what are good different. Most of my beer names are kind of loosely associated with parties, obviously, I guess. So what's a good type of party that might not be already taken? My Pilsner's probably my best rip-off beer because I think I called it Party Time Pilsner just because I was lazy. But then after the fact, after I made labels, I think I saw that there's a brewery somewhere that's probably way bigger than me that already named it there. Belgian White. Yeah, I should only do Belgian Whites. What's everyone's favorite? Oh no, I need to. Speaking of new brews, I need to tap into that alcoholic market because from what I've seen, I've seen the numbers, and some of the highest ChatGPT for beer recipe. No, I'll talk about that in a second. I was just talking about some of the highest numbers of selling beer in Nova Scotia are for the Fax or DAB type beers. So there is a huge market for cheap beer that's 10%. So the question is it ethical to create a beer for that market? Maybe your goal is to finally get tasty beer to those poor people that just want a 10% beer after work, or do you just steer clear from that? What do you think? But going back to Perry's question, have you tried ChatGPT for beer recipe? I've looked at ChatGPT, not necessarily I've looked at making a beer recipe on ChatGPT, and they always came out pretty weird. Although I think they're like their water amounts and their hops amounts seem to be pretty sketchy all the time. But it does come out with, like, it does sometimes give you the right answers for if you're asking like, oh, what sort of a percentage do I want to put roasted barley in there, or something along the lines. Yeah, that's right, beer. Well, they won't pay extra for it. So like unless you're able to do it super cheap. I don't know what it is. I think it's almost the same price as I do back home. So if I could probably do it for the $5 a can type way, which is expensive compared to Ontario prices. Today I think I bought five beer at the liquor store, and it was, again, great price here compared to home. It was only $18.50, where back home you could probably not really get that for under $25 unless you're getting them from like an actual, like, the brewery shop when they're 25% off or something like that. But let's see, they won't pay extra for it. Not drunks like me. But yeah, one of those high gravity beers, you might be able to make it for pretty cheap if you just use plain base malt and barely any hops in it, and then also just add a bunch of dextrose at the end of it. So it'd be a pretty cheap beer, but it would probably taste horrible. Like I made that one of my videos is doing that Cold 45 clone, and honestly, like when it came out like fresh, it tasted fine, but after like a couple weeks, it didn't taste like Varsol or anything, but it was a nice heated alcohol taste. Let's see. Yeah, I prefer to drink my beer, not sip. Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know what like a 10%er, like I can see 10% sometime in the old like dessert stout or something, but like, yeah, for sipping, not for hammering down, unless you got one goal, and that's to get drunk. And then if that's the case, beer is probably not your best option, unless you're looking for maybe a few extra calories or something along those lines. 22 watch-ins, probably because we're starting to get into reasonable time period, or people getting off work. Maybe some people checking it out on the drive home, and for that I say thank you very much. This is a good time, good things to do. I got to. What do I got on later? Walk right over to here, and this is where I sleep. So you can't see it, but there's a bed there. And I guess watch a Netflix show later. So it's really, it's just so much to do, and study, of course. I'm gonna get studying. I signed. Oh, there's another thing I did just to start being able to make the finest beers in the world. I signed up for a brewing certificate at the IBD, which I guess is the Institute of Brewers and Distillers. Now I have to read that because I really should not be spouting it off without even knowing the name. The Institute of Brewing and Distilling. I just ended up going with that certificate. Fairly, it's kind of on the expensive side. You got a year to do it if you sign up like right now, because the next test is like next March. So I was gonna do the certificate that I had until March to do, but then I realized that'd be like 4 hours straight of studying a day from now till March, and I just didn't think that's worth it. Plus, I want to give myself time, and really the key thing I want from the course is to have access to the materials on the course, just to see what I can pick up. I'm already through about one unit of it. If you watch YouTube all the time and you're always listening to podcasts and stuff, like so far there's not a huge load of stuff that's new, but I'm only really into the kind of materials and stuff like that. A little bit of good information on, I don't know, grain size and stuff like that. But again, I think even at the level of the certificate instead of a diploma, it's kind of a little bit on the low side of in how much information is there. But I kind of just chose to do the certificate just to make sure that I could actually pass the materials and stuff before I actually commit to doing a diploma. If I want to do that, you can do a diploma through the same place, the Institute of Brewing and Distilling, but it's around at least Canadian wise, it's like almost 600 pounds, which comes out to about 900 and something Canadian. And then if you're actually doing the diploma, they try to sell you, and it's not really selling. Like, it'd be great. I'd love to be able to sit there and talk brewing with people, but they want to sell like the tutor package or the kind of like prep package for the exam, which you probably need because I heard it's a freaking hard exam. But with a certificate, it's only $60, so I'll pay for that eventually and get that. But the sessions aren't until like next February, and with the diploma, it's like I think it's like £1,300 per sessions, and it gives you a couple lessons a week with tutors and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty heavy, especially for a part-time person or anyone. Hey, what's going on, Northwest Small Batch Brewing? If anyone isn't subscribed to him, get on there and do it. Find him. He gives a few good tips every Thursday, or one good tip every Thursday at least. Yeah, he's pretty consistent, putting out a lot more videos than I've been doing. Let's see, Irish Wake Stout, black as the widow's veil. Nice. At least it's not tastes like corpse or something along those lines. Yeah, 5%'s a sweet spot. 5%'s easy, and with my size batches, 5% usually works out pretty good to being a half bag of grain per batch. So you can get pretty much one bag of grain gives you, for the most part, a two or basically a barrel of 5% beer. So that works out pretty good. Uh-oh. Brewing a Bock for TWBNS, seasonal appropriate. Let's see. I am just blanking on that acronym right now. How about I type it out if you... I mean, I could chat GPT it, but I don't have it up now, and it'll give me something wrong. But let's see. I'm as good a video producer as I am a not drinking. Yeah, Beerqua is one of the true champs of the chat channels. Beerqua, you still looking at I forget if it was you that I always saw. Was it you that was always over like man-made mead and that sort of thing? I don't know if he's what they're doing lately or there. Yeah, Together We Brew Nova Scotia. That's what we're trying to get going, or that's what I'm trying to get out to there. All I got to do is secure a few babysitters and build a setup to actually serve the beer, and I'll be good. I joined the Craft Brewers Association out here. Well, just once I came out here on this trip here, I sent some emails and got in there. But yeah. My only problem was for the joining the beer association is that I actually missed the Together We Brew session. So they just did a big collaborative brew with a bunch of breweries. Went and hung out at well, I think it was really Stillwell brewing it, but a lot of people went out and hung out there and got to see their processes and what they're doing. So kind of wish I was part of that, but missed it this year. I'll see it next year, and I have an idea what goes on in breweries, just not idea what goes on in that many real breweries. So always creep around and try to check out what they have. For some reason, I always like watching canning lines, so canning lines are interesting to me. I just saw I think it's the American Canning AT6 or 1 or something like that, but little rotary small canner, which seems like it'd be great, but with my size brewery, I cannot justify anything higher than a cannular. But a product I am looking forward to maybe trying, if it actually comes in stock anytime soon, would be the new, I think Kegland was just supposed to release their can filler. It's only one head, but it's also only priced at, I think it's at about maybe 180 or $200. But again, it might not be, the availability might not be there. And I'm pretty sure it's almost the exact same as the duo filler. I'd like to do the duo filler, but I'm also scared of how much money it's going to cost to actually get into Canada once the shipping's done and stuff. So like I think where it's maybe 500 and something online for the price, like I think by the time I actually get it into Canada, it's probably going to be $700 or $800. So I'm not sure if I can rock that one. Let's see, what else we got. Oh, Together We Brew. Oh yeah, Brewing a Bock for Together We Brew. Yeah, sorry about that. I totally missed that one. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd love to, like, I don't know what I'm going to take to that yet. For me right now, like, the favorite one I do is the cold IPA. I imagine there'll probably be there seems to be a lot of breweries starting to do cold IPA. I'd really like to know who was the first one to do one in Nova Scotia. I know Tanner did one. Propeller just did one. I did one. But I have no idea who's had them there. Yeah. Not to be a downer, but wondering if it still feels like a hobby or just work now. Goose Fraba. Yeah, I think it's so far it feels pretty good. Like I definitely see it. It doesn't quite feel like work yet because there hasn't been any times yet where I felt like I'd say pressured to brew. There's been a few times like before I go away for 2 weeks that I try to get a bunch of stuff done. Like last week or the week before I came here, I got I think 5 or 6 brews done in a few days. Did a few up till 3 in the morning type brews. I think 2 days in a row. For some reason, I started my brews at like I don't know 10 o'clock at night, and then just went way too long. Let's see. Multi-port pressure assisted bottle filler for a 6 pack. Oh, nice. Yeah, if Perry's talking about the canner, that's my plan. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to make my own canner, but I do want to start looking into like with the 3D printer what I could possibly do to kind of make the process easier. Whether it's building a little like just kind of a not a tray a line for having the beers go down, or like a really far-fetched one would almost be like just like uh just like build like a hand cranked. Sorry, you can't see down there. I'll do this hand cranked conveyor belt to kind of bring the beer from where you fill them over to the place where I put where I fill them to where I put the caps on the lids on them or whatever. So that'd be good. Or if you could build like a little box for like that the cans would kind of go into, that you could kind of give them a light layer of CO2 to do that, and then maybe like something that would I don't know, take the foam off the top. But for canning now, like and a hint I got, whether it's a good hint, I think it was a good hint, but I got it from Jake up at 9 Locks. He basically said, like with my system, like when I'm filling them with a bottle wand or like beer gun or whatever, like the only thing you can really do is overfill every can, and that just gives you a better chance of not having the oxygenation in the top, because I just don't have the control to really make it nice and like a perfect foam. And so yeah, I'm just hand filling everything and hand filling everything and going with that. Yeah, More Beer has one called Medusa 4 bottle filler. Yeah, the problem is I'm doing canning, and I think I'll stick to canning. So just be nice. I mean, and like it wouldn't be that hard. Like if you do it, like imagine Beerqua, if you were into canning, you could probably do it. Like really, you just need if you built a mount, and then just had sets of 2 stainless steel tubes, one with filling, one for CO2, and a couple valves. And especially if the valves were easy to turn, like on like the duo filler that has a pretty good size valve, but just with on off valves and a CO2 purge button or a purge valve, you could easily make like a 4 bottle canning line that wouldn't take you a crazy amount of time to fill up. Like at least like even one of the things I was thinking about is, even if you just made you could 3D print a holder for like some tubes or whatever, and you could just make a thing that could purge six cans at a time, instead of just doing the kind of 1 can with the bottle filler and then count to 6, and then next can and count to 6. Okay, I only count to 3, but yeah, ideally you're counting to 6 or 8, and you do that, so you'd be able to save some. And usually by the time like the last one's purged, the first one's probably already mixed, or the air's disturbed enough around it that it's the oxygen's going out of it. But yeah, let's see. Slow Rower Homebrew Club has toured a few local breweries. They've talked about their canners. It's crazy how expensive commercial setups are, and what parts optional extras, and how unreliable they're. Yeah, they're pretty like they're big pieces of machinery, and like unless you're like let's see. Yeah, like they're big pieces of machinery unless you really know the inside note of them, which I mean, I guess you should if you buy the thing. Like they're probably pretty hard to fix when something goes wrong. But then on the other side of that, like if you really break them all down, excuse me, it's a lot of small pieces and a lot of canners. I was at Schoolhouse Brewery the other day, and he was giving me a little tour of their canner, and I forget the brand that they're using, but the one they had, he was showing me all the pieces. He's like, oh, this little actuator is only like $6 somewhere. Or so like if you get a canner that's using pretty generic parts that you can get at supply stores, then it's a little better. Let's see. But yeah, commercial setups, and they are crazy. And you look at like another brewery I was at, helping out with not really helping out, really just distracting them and talking to them, but like seeing them use, I think they had a cask line or something, and they didn't have any of the accumulation tables or the infeed tables. So the guy at one end's like dipping cans in sanitizer, and at the other end there's only room for 2 or 3 filled, like say 6 filled cans. So you gotta be 2 people on it. Period. Yeah, cans are popular. So you need to be able to do it. But I just don't know. It'd be nice if there was like, we'll say like somewhere between the, like, because right now I think you can get something in the like $15,000 range, but that might be like kind of close to the Kegland canner setup, and I've heard that one. I've heard it works okay, but I've heard it's a horrible mess to set up. But I mean, once you set it up, then you're fine. But yeah, like I don't know what I'd go for if I had to go for a single canner. Hear a lot of good things about, I think Twin Monkeys or something like that do a pretty good one, and the American canner one seems pretty good. I talked to them a little bit. They said they're good, but it's only kind of good up to. You probably don't want to be like canning like too many Belgians and stuff with them, because if your CO2 levels getting a little more than like 260, 270, then it's going to start foaming over, and then it just gets a mess for everyone. And that's something I learned recently too. 270 for me is probably like the perfect. I like carbonating a little bit on the higher side, but not. Well, I'd like to carb higher, but 270 is kind of what works with the beer gun, and the right pressures when I'm sending it out of my brights. So, in case you're wondering, and for some reason have a carbonation tester, 270 is great. But if you're doing the kind of just the forced carbing, or just waiting for the CO2 to settle at temperature, then you can look at charts and you can find that. And if you're really trying to can a bunch of them, like can it as cold as you can get it down to, like try to get it down to 0 or less, and just get that, yeah, just get that pressure proper. Pressure proper? Yeah, 18,000 for a basic canning line. I don't think you can do much for something new up here. I don't think you can do anything much under 30. Might even be 40 for a decent one, because like to me I'd want to set up like the American canning one looks pretty good, like the brewery here, Daft Brewing. They got the American canning set up, and then just a little circular accumulation table, so that you can at least do it on your own for a bit, or someone. It's nice if someone can step away for a little bit to get something done. But I'd love to see I'd love to start like I don't know, even like a file thing on like Thingiverse or whatever like 3D printing sites there are, and start working on a 3D printed canning system, like, or at least as much as you can, because you can't, like, once the can's on the bottle, once the can's on, you can probably do a bunch with 3D printed things, but I don't know you could do it definitely to prototype and stuff like that, but I don't know if you probably couldn't 3D print too much that's gonna guarantee you're not getting any sort of bits into the cans. I think I forget which company. It was one of the companies recently made their whatever they call it, inverter. So they have, or inverter, can flipper inverter or whatever part of it, but you can buy the 3D printed ones of those. So it's just a little tiny tube, and it just flips the can as it's going down pretty quick. So that might be something to try to print. But yeah, canning's expensive, and beer is good. So I'm gonna try to. I've been nursing this one. I think we've been, what is it, almost an hour? Oh, 106. Holy crap. Yeah, so I'm going to finish this and then have one more, and then probably call it a night. I don't know, or maybe call it a night early. Who knows? Depends on what people want. What do people want to talk about? Does anyone have any questions about Party Time Brewing? Any questions about the process? Any questions about, I don't know, bad hair? Let's see. This building system would take a lot of invested time. Yeah, beer quality, it does take a lot of invested time. I've done a few. Well, I've tried to make a few like tap handles and stuff so far. They turned out. So far they've turned out kind of all right. I just got to figure out I don't know how to do the 3D printing that well yet, so I need to figure out how to do like custom supports and slice them properly so they work. Okay, making a few blow molded cans. Okay, that's kind of cool. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, if you're on 3D printing, I have no idea how to search it or whatever there, but if you go on Thingiverse, I think I put up what did I put on it? Oh, I just built a template for a Party Time, just the Party Time kind of logo or words for spray painting my kegs. So I basically just a stencil that you could use if you want to go graffiti the town with Party Time Brewing. That's all right. Let's see. Yeah, and Beer Qual, or was it Beer Qual that just said that? Oh, Perry, company can that doing blow molding cans. Yeah, I was looking at I got out in a what do you call it? I went down the rabbit hole the other day, and I was looking at like going on AliExpress or Alibaba.com and seeing what manufacturing companies cost to make like plastic parts, because there's a lot of stuff too with a 3D printer that you could probably, like, if you templated it out, you could probably send it to them. But as far as I can tell, you'd probably be looking at about $2,000 or $3,000 to make a little part. But I think something that'd be good for 3D printing that I want to do sometime soon is, it's kind of more like stuff for cleaning. So like if you made like a little cheap tri-clamp piece to hook at the bottom of your fermenter for rinsing the water out. Like as long as it's, and even then, like it'd only be for the cold side, because I'm pretty sure that the plastic that melts and does its work at 200 degrees Celsius. Well, I mean, that's Celsius, I guess, maybe. Disregard my last. But yeah, I'd like to make some cleaning parts. So like just like drain things. Like maybe even you could make probably wouldn't want to do it a lot, but you could mess around with doing like make a hop dropper or something, and not even necessarily a zero oxygen one, but maybe one you could just, even if it was just one that had a slit that you could put the thing in, have a lid on it, drop it, and it's only gonna, like, it's not gonna at least be sucking too much air from outside. Oh yeah, Goose, 3D print. Some 3D printers can print metal. Just depends on what you got, but those ones I think are, I'm guessing, in the hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. They basically kind of like, I think they use like, depends on, I think it's called laser scintillation or some sort of word like that, but they're basically like taking metal dust and then melting it together with a laser, kind of the same way I guess the resin ones print. But yeah, they can do some. Yeah, the Xometry Nation does it, but the STL files must be screened. Yeah, and I've been playing a little bit with, you can download for, and until I decide to use it for commercial, it's cheap, but like Fusion 360, you can get a user, like a personal license to it. I think it loses some features, but I don't really know what those are. So if you never learn them, it doesn't matter if you lose them. But yeah, you can make, that's pretty good, because you can just like say, okay, here's a circle or a tube. Okay, now I want to put this threading on it. And to me, one of the big things too that I'd like to do would be I'd like to make some parts for the Spidell, like especially for cleaning, like even like you could probably do a sip ball until it falls apart and see if it works, but like a little sip ball, or just an adapter that'd screw on, that you can hook to a tri-clamp. So I think that'd be an easy thing to do. I just haven't sat down and done it yet. Tap handles are really easy. I don't know if many people are 3D printing, but I may do that for a video sometime. It'll just be it's an easy video for me to make. So I could just go through like exactly how to do a real crappy tap handle. Something similar to CNC router freeware software. Yeah, and I mean there's lots of stuff. If you want to do shapes and stuff more, you can download Blender, but Blender doesn't seem as good for the like kind of translation. It's a 3D program that's more like for animation and stuff, but you can still make 3D prints out of that. And you can just download, you basically can just go and download files, but it's pretty good, like for 3D printed like tap handles. Like I made some small ones for Party Time Brewing, and they only ended up being like, they were only this big, but they only take like maybe 60 or 80 grams of stuff to make, and that means you can make probably 15 of them with 1 kilogram of that PLA or whatever, and that's only 15 or 20 bucks. So that's pretty good. Like I think in the future I may just give away tap handles to anyone that buys a keg, just because it's kind of cool to get a free tap handle, even if it is a little janky plastic one or something. Put some form of metal. Okay, yeah, I think there's some sort of filament that definitely has metal in it, or like you can get like carbon fiber filament. I don't know exactly. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I have a 3D printer, but I really haven't done too much work on it. I've really been milking this. I've said that like 6 times. But yeah, there's a beer. So yeah, that was a Shrinkage Cold IPA. Much better when it was cold, but let's go this, and I'm just going to get this down there because Pupper's Golden Lager. And I say get it down, I probably should open it when I say that, but let's see how she's looking. Do my sweet beer review that I haven't done any beer drinking reviews in a while. I also never say stuff bad about beers too much, so I mean, it smells like a beer. Got it on my nose. Yes, I know this is the moment everyone's been. Oh wait, this is where I can as I'm sampling the beer, I can watch the viewers go from like it was at 600 a few seconds ago if you didn't notice, and now it's down to 17. So yeah, people hate beer reviews. Nah, it's not bad. Tastes like a beer. I will give it a 5 out of 5 on Untapped. I like the idea of Untapped for sampling, for keeping track of what you drink, but I don't like it for leaving real. Well, I mean, it's good for leaving real reviews. It's just there's no I don't know what you call it. There's no control over what you do. So like if I don't, it's like, oh, this stout tastes like shit. And it's like, yeah, I hate stouts. But you don't need to give it a 0 because it's well done beer. So, and I really need. I'd like to actually start trying to, like, I don't know what's a buzzword for it, but like this probably, hopefully this doesn't screw up my sound. The buzzword that I'm looking for is, let's see. Let me know if my sound goes. That other mic might have hooked on, and then nope, still seems to be good. No, what I'm saying is I'd like to not just do Untapped, but I'd like to, like, if I started a spreadsheet and actually when you taste a beer, you like, what's that word that people use? It sounds real fancy. Oh, mindfully taste the beer. Like if you actually read, or if you actually just basically do like a BJCP type review of every beer you drink. First off, you get really good at writing BJCP reviews, but yeah, it'd be nice to actually just start concentrating on what goes there. Let's see. That I'll have to give that like symbol or that heart symbol is pretty annoying on the chat. It kind of blocks the text. So like I got to wait for someone else to text before it comes through. And I know it's not a text, it's a chat. But yeah, we'll go on that. So where did I just it's Party Time. Yeah, Kurt Pick, that is it. I am going. I've been going for an hour and a bit, and I don't know how much longer I'll go, but maybe I'll stay till at least 10, just depending on how good we're going here. Just packed a Switchback Ale Classic, Vermont beer. Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'd like to get down to well, maybe not necessarily. Well, I'd like to get down to Vermont and go see Hetty Topper. I forget what ski. I don't know if Sunday River down near there. Or is that more Maine? No, I think it's Vermont. There's a lot of cool little ski hills down in Vermont. I haven't tried snowboarding yet or skiing since I had the old hip replaced, but I think I can do that. If I can wakeboard in the summer, like a month or two after I had the surgery, I'm pretty sure I can do that. Crappily. I can do it crappily. Let's see. Doing that is what made me realize my homebrew was actually decent for its commercial version. Yeah, that's true. Like it's not. I haven't actually found any breweries here that weren't as, I don't know what you call, they haven't found any breweries here that like shouldn't be breweries, but I've definitely visited places that had some. Sunday River's Maine. Okay, wonder if it's close to Vermont, or is that's like Stowe or something like that, or some other Killington maybe might be Vermont, or maybe they're all Maine and I'm just an idiot. But yeah, I'd like to get down to Sunday River, Sugarloaf, and now that drink more beers, it's a better place to go because they got so many good beers down in New England. I think that's New England. Home of Allagash and Bissell Bros. Nice. Yeah, I went to Allagash 2 years and a half ago. That was pretty good. I just wish I had more time there. We kind of showed up with like an hour before they closed, so I didn't get to really sample too much. And when we were there, we wanted to go to, I think there was like there's 3 or 4 other breweries right next to Allagash. So you got Allagash, and then there was like Definitive, and then there was, that's all I remember. I think there was Definitive and something else. I think Definitive had they had an actual N64 Mario Kart setup, so that was pretty cool there. Not just the Switch or a Repro or something like that. So always get points for having good video games at a bar. What any good anybody know any good barcades kicking around? Halifax has one. Propeller Brewing is pretty much the key place to go if I had a choice in Halifax. I mean, it's one of the bigger breweries. It's been around for a while, but they have a barcade in their basement, and that's pretty freaking cool. Plus, they also have a lot of really good shows there, so that's a great place to go. Yeah, Allagash White is delicious. Oh, Akagash White? No, sent me one. I found it 50 miles up the road. Nice. Oh, you probably have a house that you don't nowhere near there, but Let's see. Allagash White's one of my favorite. It's a 5 on the Untapped. Nice. Yeah, I saw. I think like Craft Beer and Brewing or craft or I don't even know. Brew It Yourself or something might have had a. I think they just released a recipe for Allagash White. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can't copy that, but yeah, Goose Fraba, have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Hopefully, see you on the Hoppy Hour if CH gets rolling this week, which I guess he should be because he said he's doing it every week, and I think we're doing it on Wednesday. And I don't have a test on Thursday this week, so I'm much better to hang out. But yeah, it's just drinking the like I said, drinking Puppers, just the Letterkenny beer. So I figured I'd try that out, and I got it in the liquor store here, so that's all right. Just a little sip. Yeah. So what else we got to talk about? What else we've been doing? Yeah, so beers I want to brew. So I have a lot of hops right now from a buddy gave me a bunch of hops from his brewery that he didn't go to business or anything, but he just decided to kind of shut down operations, which I guess, I don't know, is that considered going out of business if you just kind of like, okay, I'm bored, I'm done. I guess you go out of business, so maybe that's a word you can use, but he definitely didn't need to if he didn't want to, but just a lot of work, and retirement would be nice to actually retire and not start a brewery. That's a crazy amount of work. Perry, I'm pilot in the Royal Canadian Air Force there. So up here on a little bit of training that's not related to anything, but yeah, it's a good gig. Just haven't flown in like a year and a half, so I need to get back in it. Hopefully within the next year I'll get back get going. No, Kurt, I haven't flown since the surgery, so still waiting to get that going, but no doubt that it's gonna eventually get better. We're getting lots of walking in up here. I did my I think I mentioned it early in the stream, but just been walking. I'm up in Kingston, Ontario, and just been walking around to breweries, and the closest brewery to here, which is, well, maybe not the closest. Closest is probably Kingston Brewery, but the closest like really really good brewery is Fine Balance Brewing. Kind of sounds like Fine Company because that's another one that's owned by one of the or Moosehead or something like that up here, but Royal Canadian Air Force, King Charles. Yeah. They say everything used to be always for the Queen, and now I guess it's for the King or something along those kind of British lines or something. Do you get much feedback for the local bars or local shop? I don't get a ton of feedback from them. I do know the last feedback I got is I need to give them a list of my beers and what they are because they basically just have names on them with no. They have descriptions, but if you don't know the types and you don't know what you're getting, and I'm pretty sure the people serving there don't know what they're giving people, so people probably might get, if they just want something easy to drink, they might get a double IPA or something there. So yeah, I got to do that, but not a ton of feedback. Definitely nothing bad. If you look at if you go by Untapped, I'm solidly mediocre because you get the you just get the. It seems like no matter what people do, a 3.5, 3.75 is kind of the go-to, and then if you can hit your beer, if you can get your beer into the 4s, then you got something going. Assuming you get enough reviews and not just a little, not just few. But yeah, Slow Rover. It's been cold for walking. I walked on Friday. I wanted to walk to work, and it's like 30 minutes or something. So right before I left, I had a shower and then walked out the door, just wearing my hat and jacket, and yeah, it was like minus 13. So I had to walk in minus 13 with with a ball cap on and no gloves all the way down there. So, and of course you shouldn't put your hands in your pockets in the military, so I didn't do much hand pocketing, but after about 15 minutes it kind of blended out, and I didn't, when I got there, face was bright red for a while, but I didn't frostbite anything, so all good. Prince Andrew's Island Getaway IPA. Nice. Let's see, dropping out to put out the trash. Talk to you later, Perry. Yeah, it's been cold up here. Today was nice. It's at 0, so 32 Fahrenheit. Not too bad at all. A little windy, but good for walking. But yeah, just been walking around town and finding the breweries. Been to all the ones I can walk to in town now. I think I've hit up all the main ones here. And yeah, this weekend I'm going to try to drive half an hour to town to I guess McKinnon something farm or Brothers, and they're supposed to have pretty good beer, and they're a pretty big farm operation. I think they actually do. I don't know if they do all of their stuff like farm to glass, but they have big barley fields, big hop yard, and it should be good. Hey, what's going on, Gnome? Good to hear you. See that you write words on there. Don't think you're a bot. But yeah, what have you been brewing up, Gnome? Anything exciting on the go? Got to get this rolling. We got 20 people now to impress. So yeah. What was I mumbling about? Got peanut butter for sandwiches. Yeah, Gnome Brewing. If you need to check out a brewing channel, check out Gnome Brewing. He knows his stuff and does some pretty good beers. So I assume too expensive to send them to Canada, so I haven't bugged him for that. But I should sneak down there, just do a quick trip down to Rhode Island and check out the Gnome's brewery. And by check it out, I mean just go take all his beer, if he has any left. He might not have any left. But yeah, if you're just checking in, we are been going for an hour and 10 or so. First time I've been up on a stream in last week I went on the happy hour, but first time I've done a stream on the channel in quite some time. Probably must have been half a year or more since I do there, 6 months. It'll be 23 Celsius there tomorrow. Patrick Sandy, you lucky bastard. Yeah, no, I think we're getting another 10 centimeters of snow, and they already got a pretty solid pack of snow out here. So it'll just be back to messy and back to not really wanting to walk, which probably is okay because really hankering to get back to fine balance, although they're not open till Wednesday. So it is snowy, and it's going to get snowier, and their sidewalks are only just starting to get a little better after, I think, last week when we got here on Sunday. I think they had a bunch of snow, so they're just starting to get good to go, and now they're back a little bit. But yeah, oh man, look at all those hundreds. Does that happen anytime someone presses something? Like, what if I do? Does it make it look like if I just hit a bunch, it just, yeah, oh man, people are just really loving the stream. I guess I can do that, and no one can tell who they did it. So friggin' 20 inches there in Iowa, nice. Yeah, we haven't had much, I'm obviously not obviously because no one knows, or most people don't know, but from Nova Scotia, and we haven't had a ton of snow at all, and just coming out here to Ontario, it's pretty solid. But it's also, I'm also they're on one of the big, kind of the edge of the Great Lakes there, and there's a lot of I guess lake effect snow that comes down here, so it just kind of snows all the time. Don't know if it gets too crazy. It's not as crazy as Newfoundland gets or something. They sometimes get by the end of the year they'll have like 10 or 20 foot piles of snow on the side of the roads in certain places. So don't do that. But yeah, this is almost down to the wire. Any more questions or anything going on? Party time for life. Stephen Plass, yeah, good to say hi. Well, if you got a few more people stopping in, then might as well keep it going another minute if people are around. What's anyone that just dropped in? What do you got brewing? What's going on? What do you like? What's a good beer you had lately? What's a horrible beer you had lately? And yeah, what you doing? What you brewing? I guess that's a catchphrase. What you doing? What you brewing? Probably been used many times. Rained all day here in California. I hate the rain. Yeah, poor you. Yeah. Oh well, we don't get earthquakes. I guess that's a bonus, but you got to pay for it. Otherwise, 5 mores. Yeah, I just don't think I got 5 more in me. I think I've run out of refreshing topics. Now I got to research and do the internet. I could go to nah, I'm not gonna. But I could go to ChatGPT and just get it to make a beer script for me, and I can just talk about. Actually, why not? Let's do the super interesting chat. Who wants to learn something? I bet you everybody wants to learn something. Well, I did all this research on. Oh no, I can't because that's I'm just going to search something. I don't need to go to ChatGPT. Who here has had any HBC 586 hops? An experimental hop variety from Yakima Farms. Let's see. let's see what we got here. So I'm only saying the HBC 586 because I had the Propeller Brewing's cold IPA and they used that. And then there was another beer I think I had here sometime while I was here that had HBC 586 in it, and I do think I like it. So just for the learned type people that want to pick something up, HBC 586 Experimental Hop Friday from the Hop Breeding Company, which is a joint venture between John I. Haas and Yakima Chief Ranches. It's the result of a hybrid pollination of the mother YCR21, and the male number 01239-2. So that will come in handy. It'll be on a trivia question at a bar someday. The aroma has been described as a large melody of fruit flavors, mango, guava, lychee. Now I'm going to have to look up what lychee is. I'm pretty sure I've read it before, but I forget at this point. With slight sulfur and herbal notes. The sulfur notes I'm not so excited on. Let's see what this picture here has that you can't see. Oh, I guess I could just do this. I'll just go to the Windows Shift S. Give me a. Oh, that's not going to do it. But yeah, you go Windows Shift S for all you snipping fans, and then you can get your quick snip of the screen, and then we can look at. Let's see. Look at what we got here. 586. Yeah, you don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just doing some background graphic-y stuff so I can get that up on there, which I don't know if it'll work, but let's see. Oh, I even got a window in my OBS. I can take a look and see what people are saying without being on YouTube. That's fancy. Let's see, brewed dip hopped hazy yesterday. Hopefully it turns out okay. Had another brew day on a stringer bad brew day. Another bad brew day. What made it bad? Let's see. Yeah, I never tried them. Man, even the stream or the OBS thing has that stupid heart in there. Speaking of hops, surprised to learn that Yakima Valley has hop farms in Ontario and BC. I did not know that. Interesting. But yeah, I was gonna just throw up the 586. I think this might bring something to the table, or not. But let's see. So long, so slow. Nope. Almost there. I'm gonna find it. Well, now I don't know where I saved it, so it's not that great of a story anyway. Anyway, HBC 586 is an interesting hop that I kind of recommend. I was going to bring up the kind of the hop attributes, but yeah, it's just showing citrus, sweet fruit, green fruit, berry and currant. Not really any cream and caramel. A tiny bit of woody aromatic and a little bit herbal, and a little bit vegetal, but not too crazy. But it is a tasty hop. I mean, it'd be good to get out. I know the guy from Propeller went out to the Yakima. What do you call it? Went out to the hop. Holy shit, hop harvest. Yeah. Oh, Kurt's heading out. Yeah, good to. Wait. Good night, all. Yeah, good night, Kurt. Wait, Kurt can't leave. He said 5 mores. Oh, he wants to be this still on when he wakes up tomorrow morning. That makes sense. Yeah, drinking that old Letterkenny lager. See, that was that. I think while I was talking about the stupid hops, not stupid hops, they're great hops. HBC 586. Now, what do you think they're going to call them? What's if anybody here had to make a real good hop name? What would your hop name be? Or maybe not your hop name, but what's the name of a good hop? A made-up name. If you had to name a hop, what would you do? Let's see. Kurt will be shoveling snow tomorrow, I think. Yes, he definitely will be. Lots of stuff. Snow hops. No, that doesn't send the feeling of Citrusy goodness, citrus herbal, fruit punch, fruit blaster hops. Nope, that just doesn't sound fancy enough. Nope, nothing melony. Yeah, no, there's lots of names. Someone will find a name for it. Sweet leaf. Sweet leaf would be. That sounds like a decent one. Or you could like if you go with anything, like I am starting to learn a little bit more that like for tap lists and stuff, like you kind of like, unless you're just selling beer in the liquor store to people that know your beer, especially up here, like there's a pretty big market for, I think, stupidly named beer. I think you can probably get away with a lot of sales with a name instead of just actually working on. Oh, explosive sunshine. That sounds good. I like that, Stephen Plass. But yeah, if you had beer names up here, I think to jump off the shelf, you need to have some crazy graphics. But it's also I don't know, like for beer graphics, I don't even know if it matters if your beer's sitting next to another company that has crazy beer graphics and the beer graphics just kind of blend together. But if your beer can's sitting next to another one that's not crazy graphic, then it works. It stands out. And stupid names. I think stupid names is one of those things. Plunder hops. That sounds okay. You plunder the flavor from everything or something. If you had like something like borderline like edgy or yeah, just a dumb name that you could put that could actually feature on your can, and then that would add the stupidness of, or the kind of the stupid marketing of the beer. So you got this type of beer, or pathetic pilsner now with something. Tropical fruit salad. Yeah. Tropical fruit salad. What's one now featuring? Yeah, I'm not quick enough on there. Looking to try one called Elle and I haven't made a smash beer. Oh, I assume that says haven't. It's that stupid heart things in front of it. So ELANI. Now I will look that up because I don't know if I've heard of that. ELANI. LNA hops. Oh, available for the first time in 2022. It was, of course, known as the YQH 1320. Let's find out about it. This will make you smarter. I probably should have just my screen share up, and then you can at least look at something with me. But LNI was previously known as blah, blah, blah. It's a new hop variety from our friends at Yakima Quality Hops, and available for the first time in 2022. It's found a variety that someone describes as clean and bright with tropical citrus and stone fruit. Sensory analysis, crop picks out aromas of pineapple, guava, lime, white peach, and orange zest. Could I pick out white peach flavor? I do not know, but that would be yeah. And if you look at their picture, which you can't see because I'm not sharing it, flavors: sweet fruit, and citrus. So it kind of sounds like the same as any other kind of fancy things there. But yeah, clever names I'll buy. I'm the average American consumer. And what's up, everyone? Hey, how's it going, Zach? Yeah, so much on the shelf at the bottle shops, it's hard to choose. I tend to just go random. Yeah, I mean, I think like, and I've said it a bunch of times before, and I think it's especially true like in the small brewing industry, especially since I don't have a tap room and it can't be a place to hang out and drink my beer. But like, craft brew drinkers seem to be beer collectors. Like, it's hard. I mean, eventually maybe you come up with like your one beer that you like or your tap room that you like to go to, but it seems like everyone wants to try a beer once. So like, if you're really going to be doing it that way, then I think a flashy cover is probably the way to go, because if they're only going to drink it once anyway, you just need a flashy cover. I could just put hop water in there. Don't even pay anything to brew it, and just there, party supper hops. Panty party super. I need glasses more. But panty super. Yeah, that's a classy. They're everybody's favorite. No, can't say anything there. Well, I had a stuck mash, no rice hulls, and ended up squeezing the bag. When I pumped the wort into the fermenter, I saw some scorching at the bottom of the kettle, and I'm wondering if it was the oat. Yeah, I find the like with the oats, I find they always settle to the bottom. Uh, yeah, and like they only haven't really had too bad a scorching on the kettle. The biggest scorching I had on the kettle I think ever was when I for some reason like thought it was okay to just put the, even though it's off the bottom a little bit, it has a little area that doesn't touch the bottom. Like I put the hop. Oh wow, the hop spider. I had the hop spider. Just I filled it with hops and then put it, just rested on the bottom of the kettle because it wasn't dipping in too much and it wasn't a big batch. But when it kind of makes that little compartment at the bottom, it tends to just make a super hot compartment and probably bring some funky flavors in there. And it definitely caramelized a bunch of stuff. But yeah, were you able to Blackwood? Were you able to get everything out of it, or was it hard to go on? One of my I think one of my best tips for the brew in a bag that I had was I found when I was driving home once, I saw there was an oven on the side of the road, and I went and opened her up and took the two oven racks out of it, and then basically just connected the oven racks together with some zip ties so you can grab it and then just use it to squeeze the bag without actually having to like put your hands on the bag or anything, and it actually gives you a lot more torque to actually squeeze in there. So that was pretty good. Mazo Things, how's it going? Good to talk to you. I think it's been a while. I think. What are you rocking out now? You getting any YouTubing on or any of that sort of stuff, or still hiding up in Colorado or somewhere around there? But yeah, we got yeah, propane. Yeah, and Beerquah. I mean, not that you were asking that, but the one time when I was using propane with the brew in a bag, I was like, oh crap, the mash is getting a little warm, so I'll just heat it up a bit. And I heated it up for a few minutes, and yeah, it burned big holes in my nice, decently new, the brew bag. So luckily, and I never followed up with them. They were on vacation and never ended up sending it to me. But if you ever do end up scorching your brew bag or something, just if you got it at like thebrewbag.com or anything like that, just give them an email and they'll send you, I think, at least a little piece of nylon or I think the bags are nylon. Either way, a piece of bag. They'll send you a piece of their bag to sew onto the to sew onto your brew bag. And I think you can just do that with some nylon thread, or I keep saying nylon. I don't know if that's the right one, but polyester. Maybe it's polyester. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But yeah, okay, Blackwood. The color was off too. First time I've used Quaker oats, not flaked oats. I got the full volume. Just took a while to get it all out. Yeah, so you use the. I'm assuming you use the flaker quick coats. No, Quaker quick oats. That's what I've used always for anytime I have like do an oatmeal stout. I'm always just using the Quaker flaked oats, which are really just. I think it's almost the same as. Just has to be like they're kind of like rolled oats because they're already pre-gelatinized, and you don't need to do a cereal mash for them. I've never done a cereal mash. I haven't tried it with any thing fancy there. What else we got? Beerquahs, no Anvil Foundry. Okay, yeah, and Northwest uses Quaker all the time. Yeah, I've always used that. I just go to Costco, and it might not be super efficient. Probably more efficient to buy a big bag, but I don't use a ton of oats, and I'm using small batches. So yeah, you go to Costco, and I think you get 4 kilograms of it, or I guess that's 10 pounds of oats for, I don't know, $10 or $12. So that's not too bad. It gets you a nice creamy flaced. Wow, I'm mumbling everything up. But yeah, if you ever haven't tried it, if when you dump your grain out into a bin, and if the oats kind of settle to the bottom, if you can get a big scoop of those oats, they actually still taste like really good at the end of the mash. It's just nice and sweet and cooked perfectly. Yeah, Northwest uses rolled oats. What's the heat source on an anvil? It's kind of the same as a grain father. It's just a flat element at the bottom of the thing, I think. Yeah, oats from Costco are pretty cheap per pound. I don't know if you can get any cheaper than that. And I wouldn't have the need to buy any more than really the 4 kilograms at a time. I think the most I'm using in some batches, because I'm only doing 50-liter, 60-liter batches, is like maybe a pound. But local, man, that heart thing. Can you get rid of that heart on the chat? Or like maybe if you just maybe you just like keep pressing it. Holy shit, man! People just blowing off in this chat. But yeah, I wish you could get rid of that little heart thing. It's freaking annoying. We're gonna flood them likey hearts. But yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by tonight and checking out. I'm not quite done yet, but got 21 people going now. I just hit the 2 point. Or sorry, I screwed it up. We hit the 0.0024 million subscribers within the last couple days. So I mean that's pretty good. Yeah, that heart thing's definitely annoying. Yeah, so when you're typing your messages, make sure they don't end right where the heart is, so it doesn't. Yeah, that's just so much most popular. We just got to be just like Twitter or not Twitter, Twitch. You can Twitch some games. Wouldn't mind doing some streaming on Twitch, but it's really just because then I can like justify playing a video game instead of playing a video game all alone. So sad. I don't know what games I've even been playing lately. Haven't really been playing anything. Got on the old Minecraft a little bit with the son once in a while, and then a little bit of Fortnite with the other son. But it's almost like running a brewery after working hours is takes up time. Okay, 240 volt. That's one of the huge things about the anvils. Like they just have a switch in the back that you can basically switch from 120 to 240, and that's freaking awesome because that like it just makes it so quick. Like I saw one of my buddies stopped by once and brewed with me. He brought his anvil, and it was the smallest one. So I think it's like it's only made for like 3.5 gallons or something, and it had the option for. We didn't use it, but it had the option for 240, and I can imagine how well a 240 volt 2.5 or 3.5 gallon batch that'd be quick heat up times. With my G70, I think it usually takes a solid like half an hour, 40 minutes or more to heat up from like mash out temperatures at 75 to the boil temperatures. And I've boiled over quite a few times so far. A lot of like just missed the boil overs, like it'll boil up and just not quite go over, but maybe a little will get there. But yeah, I tend to, when I do my brews, I set the time, walk away, and hope that I catch the time. Oh, Brew Commander. That's what's that? That's the one that oh shit, what's that? Is that the one that Basic Brewing always sports there? Brew Commander, made from the people of Brew Commander, I guess. I don't know. Take a look there and see. How do you like your Brew Commander there, Beerqua? Is that what you use for the kind of that spike conical brewing setup you set up, or you still using that one, or did you use that? But I'm going to search Brew Commander. Let's see what we got. Brew Commander, brew house temperature control. Oh, that's never mind. I'm an idiot. That's Blickman's. I don't know what the other one was. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a clean. Be nice to have a clean little Brew Commander. I wouldn't mind having a Brew Commander hooked to like an element, and then just use that as use that for like dropping. Like I can use my second. I'd be able to use my second. Okay, now I got myself thinking. Actually, I guess if you just want full temperature to heat up a wort or something, assuming it's not going to like scorch the wort, then you can get like if you got a 240 volt, like more or less hot rod or a heat rod type thing, and I think you can set it up pretty reasonably if you just get some sort of little, I don't know, dial to tone up and down the temperature instead of like a full Brew Commander. But I haven't looked into the cheaper, or not cheaper, but more of the DIY kind of brewing setups. But it would be nice to sneak another element in there and actually get it going, or hook up 10 of those stupid sous vide, not stupid, but 10 of those sous vide things and get them going. Let's see. What do we got? Okay. Not Space Period. Oh, Beerqua likes it a lot. Nope, that's why if it was something from the outs, like profiles, that... Oh, it's Beerqua's comment is covered by the heart. If you keep clicking it, no, we can click hundreds. If you click hundreds, it'll go away. Yeah, nope. It's just you try to read it and it just puts there. So anytime a comment's blocked by the heart, you can just click it probably 500 times, and then it'll go away or not. So that was Puppers. Yeah, I'll have to do my sweet review of that. But that was a it's a good clean lager. Nothing wrong with Puppers. Golden ale. But yeah, I think we're pretty good for time. We've been going an hour and 45 minutes, and I really don't have too much else to talk about for there. I plan on trying to hit up another brewery or something sometime soon. Maybe if I get really bored, I'll jump back on here in a week or so before I leave the course, depending on what's going on. But yeah, we got Todd Porter. How's it going? We got I probably already said how's it going, but yeah, we got Puppers there. So should I jump off, or do people need one more beer? I don't know what's going on there. I'm just looking around, seeing what I got for beer. Let's see. We'll give 5 seconds. If you get a one more beer, then I'll go one more beer. Started streaming 110 minutes ago. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Yeah, some of the big things going on. Gonna try releasing some more beer soon. Need to get more onto the if it's not you. I want to get some more YouTube videos out soon, but for now I'm just kind of stuck here. And yeah, RJ, good to see you. Hope to see you in the Beer Fest in April for sure. Stop by, and I'll hopefully got a pretty good supply of hats there. So if you tell me you saw me on YouTube or this thing or something, I can get you a hat. Whether I got a bunch of these or a bunch of trucker caps. But Mazos is drinking other, so I guess I can go one more, at least part of one more. But might as well try this. We'll just go 4.5%, nice and easy. Last Duel Lager. Let's teach people some history. June 1833, Perth, Ontario. Canada's last fatal duel was fought over an insult to a young lady. The winner got the girl, and we know what happened to the loser. Harkening back to this town's bold traditions of chivalry and honor, this is one refreshing lager that stands tall and shoots straight. Ingredients: water, malted barley, hops, yeast. Ingredients: eau, malt d'orge, houblon, levure. Yeah, and now you know. I should basically be advertising. I should be the movie voice guy. If you want a movie voice guy that doesn't have a good voice and stumbles upon his words, that's what I'd be good at. Yeah, Brewing Bad. We'll have to get a few more videos on the go. I got stuff. I got stuff in the hopper. I think I have one or two grains to glass that I think I made the grain to glass video mostly, and then just forgot to do the tasting. Excuse me. Drinking. Just clean my. See, it's blocked. I'm gonna have to click something to get those to move. Oh, there we go. Patrick Sandy. Yeah, I just cleaned the anvil from last brew a month ago. Nice. That was sick. Yeah, Mazo. Sometimes I end up brewing till late at night, and you really don't want to clean. And I think I have left it overnight before, but not much more than that. I find it's hard to clean it out. It's just so much harder to clean. It's so easy to clean if you just clean it right away. But yeah, I've left it out just overnight, and then the next day, and then you just kick yourself for not spending the 15 minutes to clean it that night, and then you have to spend 30 minutes to clean it the next day. And love it, Perry. I use Craft Beer Pie running on Linux. Perry, you just got that running through a res. Oh, Craft Beer Pie. Okay, is that a Raspberry Pi running Linux, or do you just run it through a just regular computer that kind of outputs to that built all the electrical controls? Oh, frozen mold. Okay. Oh well, as long as it's frozen, it's good. That'll trap it inside. That's always good, Mesa. Mesa, what are you playing for video games lately? Anything good? Beer Qua, 2 pies with it on them. Strange Brew. Yeah, Bob and Doug McKenzie. Eisenhower. Haven't used Strange Brew yet though. Yeah, I'd like to get into. I think it's another hobby that I wouldn't get into unless I probably didn't have the brewery. But it'd be fun. I'd love to, and I've kind of mentioned it, but just working on canning line stuff. Just buy whatever kind of half robust controller you need to actuate. Whatever. Just buy all the. I don't even know the wording. Pistons, motors, things for rotating to keep the cans in place. Pistons or whatever to bring bring the fillers up and down. But yeah, I don't know too much about that, and it would take a little bit of research. But some of the stuff's okay unless you buy it from an actual canning line company, and then it gets pretty crazy. Let's see, PLC. Just played again. The Devil in Me. Oh, gotta click it out of the way. Can't say. Someone else is gonna have to comment. Crazy game. Okay, nice. Have you been streaming it all on there? I haven't had time to be checking out too much on YouTube lately, but you playing around with that at all, or just playing the game and enjoying yourself there, Mesa? No, that this one here, Last Dual Lager, it's pretty good. It tastes good. Tastes good warm, which is actually, or fairly warm, which is actually a pretty good demonstration of what of a good beer. Because if it tastes good warm, then it's pretty good cold. It's climbing. We got 16 people still here, so we probably going to be shutting this one down pretty soon. I mean, I don't want the chat to mess up there. But if you're yeah, I have if you're on the Discord, I do have the Party Time Brewing Discord, but it's also, yeah, I don't really monitor it, so it's hard to do there. I don't know what good chat sites are or good message groups. Probably should almost be like a message group started that's just all the brewing folks, and then just keep a chat type stream going. But then it might notify you a bunch. So I think I'm gonna call it a night with this. I don't need to keep talking. I've been yapping for far too long here. What do we got? We got an hour 54 minutes. Yeah, that's good. We don't need to do 2 hours. 2 hours is crazy, but hour 54 or 55 is perfect. So again, I'd like to thank everyone from coming out. If there's no final points here, we're gonna shut this down, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Hopefully, I'd love to get a video out sometime soon, so I can just not be a stagnant channel. I haven't gone the way of the dodo. I'm still gonna plan on doing stuff. I just haven't done anything in a while. Anyway, cheers. Thanks a lot for coming out. And now I will just sit here awkwardly and try to shut it down without oh wait, I think I know how to do it. Okay, this is it. Thanks for coming out. Later. Oh wait, now I gotta click yes.